Welcome to Read the Comments. So I found this story on Reddit. It says, "Am I the a-hole for sleeping with my best friend's fiance?" Is that a question we need to be asking in 2026? Like, that's what we're doing? We're sleeping with friends' fiancés and asking if you're the. Okay. There's a poll going, and 116 votes is already there, and there's 95 people that says, yes, you are. And there's 21 that says no. Now, I want to read this story to see, is she or is she not? And then I definitely want to hop in the comments because I already know it's about to be spicy. So here we go. It says, I know by the title of this story, you're probably thinking, of course, you are the a hole. But let me explain. My best friend and I met in our middle school years. She was a new student, and let's say I was not the most popular guy. Hold up. Okay. Just for some background information, I am okay. So that's what came to my mind. I am a male that dates males. Before anyone gets confused about the genders, I came out in seventh grade in middle school, and most people were supportive. However, I did get a few comments that were silly jokes about how I had crushes on the popular boys. The quite stereotypical stuff. Now, on the first day that my best friend, who we're going to call Lola, came to my middle school, she immediately became the center of attention of all the boys. The girls didn't like this, and she was what you would call the perfect girl. Long blonde hair, ocean blue eyes, about average height, and she was quite developed for a seventh grader. The boys loved her. Now, the girls were always jealous of her. One, they wanted to be her, and two, the boys, they wanted her. So, of course, I didn't have these issues as a sweet gay guy full of the straightest school in New Jersey. There was no boys I had even a slight chance with to become jealous about. We became friends on our first day. I won't go into too much detail, but we got close pretty quickly. We were inseparable. All the way up until a few months ago when she found out that I actually slept with her fiance. Sir, hurry up with this story because we need to get to the point where you slept with the fiance. Because, sir, what? What? Listen, let's keep going. Being the stereotypical underdeveloped and not the most attractive gay guy for my age through middle school and high school, I would make fantasies and have little crushes on the popular boys. It was my only form of entertainment, really. Now, Lola loved hearing about my little crushes, and I enjoyed telling them. Everything was fine on the outside until I started hearing rumors about myself and the crushes that I had. Lola denied spreading these rumors about me, but it was obviously her. So this was Get Back? Sir, that was in middle school. Let's keep going. It's getting juicy. Juicy, right? I got severely bullied by these rumors and felt quite lonely in my younger years, but Lola was always there for me and never left my side. Even knowing she was the reason I was getting bullied, there was no way I could end our friendship. She was all I had. By our senior year of high school, she had a bit of a reputation, and let's say this reputation was spot on. Her body count for a 17-year-old was one that a 25-year-old SEX worker should have. It was not just single high school boys that she was sleeping with. She slept with girls, boyfriends, truckies, middle aged men with families, but the worst of all was my own brother. Pause. 17-year-old with married men is not the seven. What are married men doing talking to a 17-year-old? Listen, we're going to continue with the story. That point wasn't juicy to me, though. Me and my brother never had a good relationship. We will call him Sam. Sam was a year older than me and the generic footballer with a reputation of only dating cheerleaders and spent his weekends at parties and football games. He hated the fact that I was gay and how that damaged his reputation. He made my home life hell, always turning my parents against me, bullying me physically and mentally whenever he had the chance, and he would even bully me at school. It was like being his own blood meant nothing to him. Lola knew about how hard my home life was due to my brother's torture. I had endured ever since I came out to my family and school. She always gave me advice and even showed hatred towards him, so I would have never expected her to betray me the way that she did. After Lola and my brother Sam slept with each other, there was obviously some rumors around my school, as people love to gossip in high school. But I ignored the rumors and remarks, as Lola assured me they were not true. I just went on with my life and continued my friendship with Lola until one night. I was at home using my family laptop to search up some videos to enjoy myself to. Right? Sam, my brother, had been using the laptop just before me and he was logged into all of his accounts. Now, I had no intention of snooping, but what else do younger and enraged brothers do? I found a file named private. How could I ignore the name? Once I had clicked onto the file, a password lock came up. SHIT, right? Ish. I thought this passcode has ruined the fun. I punched in a few passcodes, my family password, his name, but neither of them worked until I tried his birthday. Then, hooray! The file opened. What an idiot, using his birthday as a password for a full file of these kinds of secrets. Now, there were 3 videos on this laptop, each all about 5 to 7 minutes long. Ooh, okay. I clicked on the first video, and to my horror, it was my best friend Lola bent over on my kitchen table with my brother Sam. You get the point. He was behind her. Right? Now, at first, I shut my eyes, but then I got curious. I looked at the second video, and it was the two of them doing the deed again, and in some sort of foreplay situation at Lola's house. I have laid on that bed before, and that was just disgusting to me. I clicked on the last video, but this one seemed to be look a little bit different. Lola and Sam were sitting on my bed talking dirt about me. My best friend was talking ish about me to my brother, who made my life hell. What could be worse? The video continued for about a minute more of them saying cruel things about me until Sam leaned to the side of my bed and grabbed my pride flag, a gift from my parents when I came out. The two of them started spitting on the flag, then onto each other, which then turned into their third round of them going at it. I was horrified and I was angry. I could feel my body eating up with rage. I sort of regret this bit now because it truly ruined the both of their lives, but in the moment I was mad. I emailed the video to everyone in our school. Oh my God. Ooh, this is high school for y'all? Y'all was doing this in high school? Child. Ooh. Okay, let me find where it was at. I even lost my woo. I emailed the video to everyone in our school, my brother's college, my parents, my principal, Lola's parents, and the work email of the construction company my brother had an internship at. The next day at school was full of everyone watching the videos. My parents were disgusted with my brother, and so were Lola's. My brother got kicked out of college and lost his internship. Mm. Lola was allowed to come back to school after having a month off due to all of the gossip and commotion the videos had caused. Neither Lola nor Sam knew I was the ones who released the videos. They came to the conclusion it was a hacker or one of my brother's stupid friends who had a crush on Lola. Did I think this was enough? Absolutely not. Mm. I was angry and wanted my revenge. I forgave Lola. Did you, though? Did you? I forgave Lola and told her I didn't mind and it was her body, her choice. She believed this bullcrap. Forgiveness speech that I gave her. This speech that he gave was, she believed him. Now, it's been 5 years since this, and Lola still gets affected by the release of these tapes. Do I feel any guilt? No way. Mm. Lola had finally found a nice guy she met at her gym, and they had just got engaged, and we would call him Jake. He knew about the tapes but didn't mind. He liked her for her, not her past. She was truly in love with him. And I knew this would finally be the perfect revenge. After months of dropping hints and putting extra effort into getting her fiance Jake's attention, I did it. We ended up in a bedroom together at his bachelor party and slept together. I had no intention of telling Lola, as knowing her fiance had a thing for me gave me all the peace that I needed. But Jake, filled with guilt, told Lola. Now, I didn't mind this. When she confronted me, I laughed and left her life forever. Lola's family and my family hate me for what I did. But do I care? No. Lola left Jake and ended up addicted to some. Ooh. Lola left Jake and ended up addicted to some sort of medication with no job. She was ruined. You go low, I go lower. Am I the a-hole? Be honest. Sir, you wrote a biography, okay? Sir, you went low. You went to the underworld. You went deep, deep. Sir, you couldn't go no lower than you went. Hmm. That's how I know you were hurt. You were hurt. Hmm. You waited for the perfect time. And I know you probably feel good the way that Lola is living right now because you feel like Lola is just. But Lola was a child when she did what she did. You was an adult. Now, mind you, the thing with the fiance, you kind of did her a favor. I mean, obviously, you know what I mean? You did her a favor there. Just about infidelity altogether. It's separate from the genders involved. The infidelity is one, and then he actually engaged with your best friend, because they're really enemies, right? So he did her a favor, but everything else is crazy. The releasing of that video, but he was a child too at that time, and if his brother was terrorizing him like that, Lola was lying to him. Releasing the video was wrong, but okay, I get it. But as an adult, sir, but then again, listen, I say yes, he is the a-hole for sure, but also everybody in the story is a a-hole. Jake, the brother, Lola, the parents, like everybody at this point is just a-holes. It's just a family of a-holes. Okay. All right, so let's get into the comment section to see what people are saying. I think I already know based on the poll what people are saying, but let's read the comments and see. I hope this entire thing is made up. Me too. It might make an interesting TV show, but if it's real, you're all garbage. Exactly. Everybody in the story, the parents, him, Lola, Jake, the brother, like everybody. Weird people. Okay, just crazy. Somebody said, and a criminal. If I read that correctly, the brother thing happened in high school. Surely Up knows that distribution of kiddies engaged in acts that adults should engage in isn't excused away because you were mad at your brother and your terrible friend. KDM says, I didn't even read it and I said, you are the a hole. Don't be a cheater. Find someone else to engage with on that level. Well, if you had read it, you would have realized that he purposely did it. You know what I mean? He was dropping hints for months until Jake finally fell for it on the Bachelor night. I think the story is like a novel. You know what I mean? Like he wrote, he made it fictitious, because I would hate to know that these people are walking around in society with me because they're crazy, bat crazy. Okay. Somebody said, why is it so hard to make paragraphs? The person that wrote it says he forgot. He was so excited to tell us how terrible of a friend he is and how unforgiving and mad from high school stuff he still is that he forgot to paragraph it. Okay. Mm. You should attend the college you got your brother kicked out of. No disrespect, right? New Dark Ages says you are the a-hole for not using paragraphs. Listen, you know how people say that you send them a long text, they're not reading it, and people post comments or actual posts, and people be like, I'm not reading it, it's too long. I don't have a problem reading stuff. You know, I like to read, so I guess that's it. I didn't even realize he didn't even make paragraphs. I was just reading. Somebody said bad formatting, I didn't read. Okay, so I guess a lot of people really don't read when they think that it's not formatted properly. Somebody said, for me, I think that you went too far and you let your anger control you. Yes. When you post the videos, I think that was already enough as revenge for their malicious deeds. However, no one can totally understand the feelings of another person, hence, I cannot judge if you are an a hole or not. But for the sake of the argument, I think yes, you are. If I am there with you, I will convince you to stop before you destroy your life and others. He already destroyed Lola's, Jake's, the brothers. The brother probably still can't recover his job, the construction company, the internship, the college. Oh, come on. The brother ain't recovering from it. Lola tried to recover and he made sure she did not. Now Lola is out here unable to leave substances alone. No job, just not. Mm, you already destroyed lives. Okay. I hope that you can truly move on and find happiness in your life. I think that until he truly heals and truly forgive both of them, he won't find that peace and that happiness, because the forgiveness is not for the people that you forgive. The forgiveness is actually for you, so you can release, so that you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to have nothing to do with the person. But forgiving them allows you to move on. Seriously. Somebody says, this story isn't real, but yes, you're still the a-hole. I hope it isn't real. Fuzzy said, very extravagant piece of fiction you got here, but you're still the a-hole. Somebody saying, incredible story, right? Incredible story. First, I got to give you an applause because I've heard so many stories where people just don't use the footage and you used it all the way. Thank you for that. What? I would say the wedding part was a bit far, only because he had to stoop down to their level for that, and you're supposed to be better than them. However, I could also justify it by saying she is stupid gullible if she can hurt someone like that and think she can keep him around in their lives like she had to know you wouldn't let her stay happy. So it's topsy turvy. But sure, I'll say that you are the a-hole for that. But for releasing the video, no. They fully deserved it. I hope you saved it and I hope you keep showing it because that's what they get. That was such absolute betrayal that I'm more mildly disappointed as opposed to like you're the bad guy. If anything, you're the hero of the story. Am I book? Better yet, he's saying that he's the underdog. So I would give you 4 out of 10 for the a-hole. We're doing scores. Out of 10, I'm giving him about 6. 6. The other 4 is because I could see where the pain from childhood. He has a terrible childhood, and he never got relief. It was at school. It was at home. It was a person that's supposed to be family to him. That's supposed to be a safe space for him. That was making him even worse than strangers. Just made to feel that way. And then being in his room like there was a lot going on. So I understand why he released the video, even though that was still wrong, but I get it. But my man is mad vengeful. You know how a lot of y'all say y'all petty? Y'all are not petty until you're on ops level. Op is a real op that you don't want to have. Because if he your op, he will stoop so low, whew, you can't beat him. And you can't join him. Because I wouldn't even have him as a friend. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because I might make a mishap one day and I even realize I made a mishap and now he gunning for me. I don't know, child. Continuing, somebody said, the person continued to say, other than that, I'm still on your side. And to be honest, as to something like that, just the video alone of her lying about sleeping with your brother is enough of a reason about them spitting on your flag. Jesus, like, what have you done for them to be so unnecessarily spiteful? Your brother's one thing because I can see how he blamed you for being gay, which isn't your fault, but still, I can see how he blamed you, but she's just a shitty piece of ish. I can't even justify why she did it. I'm not saying your brother doing what he did was justifiable, but I couldn't at least understand why. But why would she betray you like that? That was just awful. That's worse than what your brother did. And it sucks, but she's worse. Again, I'm not trying to say your brother is understandable in the sense of I'm defending him. I mean, in the sense of she's worse. I can't even think of why she did that beyond getting, easy penetration, and which makes her worthless. Honestly, doesn't deserve a man. Honestly, she doesn't deserve a man. It's sad that she got love start loving substances a whole lot, but she certainly doesn't deserve to have a man in her life for that. Wow, people can't recover and come back. That is my final verdict. You know what she's, so I'll take away 1 point and give you 2.5 out of 10. Somebody says you are the a-hole, and I'm being honest. It was enough with the tapes thing, but still, you didn't let go. If I was you, I would do the tapes thing and then not become Lola's friend anymore. I wouldn't have did the tapes thing. Lola been showing, cards that she wasn't a friend. Once Lola started telling my business, me and Lola would have to peace out A-Town. You know what I mean? Lola showed that she wasn't a friend there. So this person said, you are the a-hole, and I'm being honest. It was enough with the tape sting, but still, you didn't let it go. If I was you, I will do the tape sting and then not become Lola's friend anymore. And then the last comment says, if this is real, you should have stopped at the leak video. Even that was extremely a strong reaction. You are both the a-hole. She wronged you, but you took it so much further. Listen to me. I have a policy that I live by right now, and a policy that I keep telling people. You crazy, or you think you crazy, but there's somebody out here 10 times crazier than you. You think you petty till you run into a 50 Cent or my man's right here. But this is a story. Okay, made up. So when you out here road raging, when you out here walking around trying to act tough, yeah, it's all cool till you run into somebody that got nothing to lose and everything to gain by whoopee, yo. Okay. So be mindful and understand that you might be a forgiving person, but there are people out here that don't forgive. And they coming for you, they gunning for you. And they're going to be an enemy for the rest of your life. Make friends, not enemies. And remember, some people like to keep their friends close, but they keep their enemies even closer. Listen, this is Read the Comments. You can find me in somebody else's comment section reading those comments. I might read your comment. Okay? Thank you for tapping in. Bye.